Hey guys, I'm Dan with Six Monkeys. Today I'm going to do a little bit of an install video on our rear backup camera relocation kit. I'm just going to go over everything you need, everything that's included, and a little tutorial on how to run your wire and how to set everything up properly. So bear with me, it's going to kind of be done in a few stages, but we'll get it all done and wrapped up. So here is everything you're going to need to complete this project. We don't supply any of this stuff, obviously. You're going to need a drill with approximately a 3/8 bit, a pair of wire crimpers, strippers, a pair of wire cutters, a 10mm socket, good luck finding one, and Phillips regular head screwdrivers, a clip puller, and some electrical tape. In the kit, we have a 20-foot long wire harness, 6 strand. We got 12 wire connectors. These connectors I'm going to use on my vehicle, but we are going to supply heat shrink connectors, an assortment of zip ties. We're going to have our bracketry, and we're actually missing a piece here because I don't need it for my build, as well as all the hardware to mount everything. We're first going to pull off the interior lid. It's really simple. It's just held in by a bunch of clips. I have it here on the floor. You can see it's all held in with just push clips. Once you get those clips popped, all you do is, get a screwdriver underneath there, give them a little pop, get it started, get your fingers under there and work around it. You'll notice you'll have 2 wire connectors, one on each side. Therefore, your interior lights that are on your door, go ahead and disconnect those and drop the panel. After you drop that panel, you're going to move to the upper section of the door. It's a separate plastic panel. I also have it on the floor. It just snaps in place. You'll notice that the clips on the sides of it, you'll pull those inward, and the ones at the very top, they just pull out. They're all snap clips. Once you get those out, you'll pull the center piece. It's located up inside here. It's held in with clips. After you pull that piece, you'll remove your 2 factory tie downs. One there, one over here, and then this whole strip will pop out as well. Once you get all those pieces pulled out, go ahead and loosen up your driver's side panel. And all I did was pull down on it. There's a little clip there, and then pull away from this edge, just enough so you can get your wire back behind there. Once you get that all pulled up, you're gonna go inside your, remove your deck lid, go inside here, peel your carpet back out from underneath, just pull it back a little bit. You'll notice a plastic cap here in the bottom. That's where your wire is gonna pass through. There is no hole in it, so you're gonna wanna use your screw gun and your 3/8 bit just to pop a hole right in the middle of that thing. That's where your wire is gonna pass out. Okay, now that all your plastic interior parts are pulled, we're going to move on to removing your camera lens. And I've already removed mine, so I'm going to kind of just walk you through how to do it. I don't think I need to remove this thing again. It's really simple. If you go around here to the side, you'll notice your weather strip. You're going to pull your weather strip down, and you'll see a clip. Get a screwdriver in there or one of your pullers. It's a 2-stage clip that opens up. You're going to want to pull that on both sides. Just pull it down, it'll pop out. Once you get that, you're going to open up your deck lid, and you're going to find 4 plastic bolts that hold your light assemblies in place. We've got one here, we've got one up here, and we've got 2 out here on the sides. go ahead and remove all of those. Do not remove the light, you don't need to. All we're doing here is making clearance for the back panel to be removed. So do that on both sides. Once you got those 8 bolts, and they are a 10mm socket, move on to the next 8 nuts that you need to pull, and you'll find them recessed inside of holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 more on the other side. Go ahead and remove all of those. I want you to take notice here of this one plastic pin towards the center of the vehicle. That pin is holding that lid on. So you're going to want to get a screwdriver and hit it on both sides to get that pin to pop loose. Once that pin pops loose, you'll be able to remove the outer section. Once the outer section is removed, there is a electrical connector. Go ahead and disconnect it. It's plugged in right here. And this wire runs down to your camera. You'll find a zip tie underneath there that holds it in place. Just undo it, unclip it from the camera, and 2 Phillips screws hold the camera in place. Once you get all that disconnected and you pull this wire back, let it hang just kind of like how I have it, you can go ahead and put that back bar back on and tighten up all the screws as well as the ones for your tail light assemblies. Now that we have everything broken down and we're ready to start running some wire, I'm going to show you my path of how I'm going to take this electrical connector. Very, very itty bitty and small, and we just can't source the opposite end, so making a plug and play harness just isn't a reality here. What we're going to do is we're going to come up here and we're going to leave some space. We're going to clip this off and we're going to splice in right here. So we're going to save this piece that we cut off to splice into the other side of our wire to plug back into our camera. And I'm just going to kind of show you how I'm running this wire. This is going to plug right back in here. We're going to run the wire with this other harness all the way up here, cross down, all the way up over. And I'm going to jump into this hole that I have fed a piece of weed eater string through. I'm sure you could use wire, weed eater string, just anything that's kind of flexible but still kind of stiff. And I ran it from under here through the top, and that kind of allowed me to twist this wire, or to twist the weed eater cord and get it through this little rubber grommet piece into the deck lid. Now I'm going to use that as a snake, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie my wire to that piece of weed eater string and pull it back through. And then from there, we're going to run underneath this panel, back behind this side panel, and all the way down underneath here to the bottom. We're going to run down in there, out that hole. Once we get out that hole, we're going to run the wire up here, zip tie it across the lower section of the tire carrier, leave a little bit of a loop at the hinge so nothing pinches, and then we're going to just zip tie it up along this piece, and we'll mount our camera and splice in the pigtail end, plug into it. If you notice, I do have a table on my carrier, and the mount bracket is going to replace this strap. So I'm going to get rid of it, and my camera bracket will mount to it. Now, if you don't have a table, we're going to supply one of these straps to go on the opposite side, as well as the mount hardware, so that way you can just bolt it right to the sidearm without ever having, to have a table. So I'm going to go ahead and run this wire, get it all fastened, and then we'll do another short little video on how to assemble and adjust the bracketry. So we're going to start off by pulling a few interior panels. We need to access places for wires to run and to pull your old backup camera. So this is how I've managed to do it. All right, now that we have all this wiring buttoned up, I'm going to show you my path and how I ran everything. You can see up here, I spliced into the factory harness. All the wires are color coded, so it makes it really easy. All I did was follow the wire, brought it up here along the side, zip tied it up, and we will supply the zip ties, as well as a piece of wire loom for outside of the vehicle. You can see this is where we fished it through from this down into here, ran it through. See, it came out, headed back that way, and then it just ran inside of this panel all the way down to the bottom. See, it came out right there, and there it is in the bottom of the trunk. I pulled all my excess wire up right there and just did a little loop and zip tied it up. It's a good place to hide it underneath there. From there, it comes out underneath. It's kind of hard to see up in here with all my auxiliary mounts and whatnot, but it comes out right there. And I just have it hopping out over here on the side. Zip tied it to the tire carrier. Ran along the back side of the tire carrier, left a loop at the hinge, then ran it up the tire carrier arm. You can see we have a couple zip tie holes in the bracket. It makes it really convenient to zip tie the wire up there. There's one right there, and there's one up top here in the corner. I spliced the factory pigtail on this end, and I staggered the butt connectors so that way everything will fit inside the wire loom really nice. Now, assembling this bracket is really easy. I pre-assembled mine and then put it all in there in one piece and then plugged it in. You're going to want to bolt your camera to the bracket first, and then put the bolt in to mount it to the next bracket. You see down here at the bottom one, it's slotted. And the slotted one, the side with the slot, is where you're going to want your big flat washer. Put the lock washer in the nut on the inside. I got everything finger tight and got everything positioned the way I liked it, and then tightened everything down. And the end result, you have a camera tucked nicely up inside your spoke. So let me get this thing buttoned up and get all my panels put back together. We'll close it all up and take a look at the backup camera screen up front and see how we did. All right, so here we are. We've got everything buttoned up in the back. Everything's back together. Let's try this out. Let's put it in reverse. Look at that. So obviously we're tucked up in the wheel a little bit. Give that camera a little bit of protection back there. But overall, I mean, that's not a bad looking view.